race.
Just waiting for the start here, the results from the second heat, Texas 6:19.3. So with Ohio State and Texas, we're within 0.1 of each other for the fastest time so far waiting on this heat. Wisconsin second, 6:25.9, so just about a second faster than Syracuse this time. Third, Central Florida, 6:31.4. Fourth, Duke, 6:33.5. Fifth, Gonzaga, 6:34.8. Sixth, Oregon State, 6:36.4. Navy, 6:46.7. So it looks to be as though Ohio State will clearly advance, Texas will advance, Wisconsin will advance, and then between Syracuse and then what happens in this race will be the determination of the rest of the boats there. But likely Syracuse and the 3 boats from here based on what we've seen so far.
Water's looking beautiful out there in that top 500 now.
So off the line, it looks like Virginia maybe I'm not sure half seed over UCLA, but Virginia, UCLA just slightly up on Indiana. So UCLA's had some good starts here. Lane 4, Washington State, which again seems to have slow starts, but doesn't seem to affect them. Oklahoma right in that mix. Columbia on that far side, and Cornell on the near side you can't see, but also right in it here early. So this jumble, and we talked
lots of
about
noise.
Staying focused,
yeah.
7 boats across. A bit of a challenge mentally for these guys.
Definitely, it is definitely a mental challenge because there's a lot of noise, and the coxswains typically are not quiet. So you really have to maintain your focus in your boat and listen, key into what your coxswain is saying. I had Caitlin Snyder and Mary Whipple as coxswains, and so they were pretty easy to key into. So
you're a really good race here. Virginia maybe a seat out on UCLA. So Virginia looks like maybe responding from this morning in both their eights. And then UCLA maybe 2 seats back, and then you see really lanes 2, 4, and 5. Indiana, Washington State, Oklahoma, all really close there. Columbia maybe just a few seats back of that, and Cornell maybe a few seats back there. But you see how tight this is, and you kind of look at expect the finals tomorrow to be this kind of racing with everyone out there. But Virginia, let's give them maybe a 4-seat lead over UCLA. UCLA maybe a seat or 2 over Washington State. Washington State maybe a seat over Indiana and Oklahoma. But between really 2nd to 5th is very tight there. Where Virginia just maybe 5 seats out, but certainly not safe by any stretch of the imagination here.
Yeah, Virginia, coached by Kevin Sauer, his 22nd season with the Cavaliers. Actually, Steve, I don't know if you know, Kevin taught me how to scull. I've flipped many times in the reservoir. My skill, thankfully, I've much improved since that point, but Kevin dealt with me as a young athlete.
So here, 2nd through 5th, great race there. And really maybe even 2nd through 6th. Cornell maybe a little bit off the pace of Columbia. But really, I mean, you look across, that's bow balls, 4 boats across between UCLA, Indiana, Washington State, Oklahoma, and Virginia maybe, let's say, 5 seats up on, let's say, Washington State and UCLA, really close there. But Indiana right there, and Oklahoma also, that bow ball over at 5, you can just see it there, but again, that's an angle issue. Oklahoma maybe falling a little bit off the pace, to be fair. And then again, Columbia maybe a length off that pace, and Cornell just off there. So it looks like it's now, let's say, Virginia first, UCLA, Indiana, Washington State, some combination of 2, 3, 4. Give Virginia maybe a 6-seat lead here, and maybe similar to the 2D race in the sense that Virginia pushed out a bit, and then everyone behind him is continuing to not give them that advantage.
Yeah, that's great. Persistence by these other women to not just let them go and get away, to keep it a race. I mean, it's really, what is there, 5 boats across there pretty much for the most part?
Yeah, I mean, really, I think 2nd, 3rd, 4th is a big push,
yeah.
and you know, this, we kind of allude to this, but whoever finishes 4th isn't likely to make it to tomorrow for the grand final, where 2nd you're almost guaranteed. So obviously if Virginia can hold on, that pushes them through, and then between UCLA, Indiana, Washington State, if either Indiana or Washington State are 2nd, that pushes them through. UCLA, if they can be 2nd, it puts them all in these tiebreakers and kind of crazy math, but they're doing their part there to keep that going. But again, you're seeing here, again, it's a little bit of the angle, but looks like Indiana coming back just a little bit there. Indiana's moved through UCLA a bit. Indiana coming back on Virginia. Let's say Virginia maybe 4 seats or 5 seats here, but certainly shrunk the lead here to Indiana's credit.
We'll see how Virginia responds to this.
Yeah, I mean, Virginia had maybe 6 or 7, and let's say now it's maybe 2, 3.
Yeah.
Again, depends on thing you're looking at. But UCLA and Washington State over there, Washington State again having a good second half of all their races, certainly this morning. That's a good battle there for 3rd. You'd think right now that Indiana and Virginia would move through, and Indiana continue to move here. The leaders will stay pretty composed as we go.
as an athlete, you want nothing more than to try and shake these crews, to try and shake them off so you can start to create some distance. But to the credit of all of these women, no one is backing down here. This is a great race.
You see that bow ball of lane 4, Washington State, creeping back in too. And those guys are certainly not out of it for that. Well, for having a shot to win this thing. This is going to be 3 boats, maybe 4 boats across at that finish line. And it's going to see, as you talked about, it really brings that rate up. So Indiana and Virginia a little bit ahead. And then you've got Washington State and UCLA in that kind of 3-4 spots. Oklahoma 5th, Cornell 6th, Columbia 7th. But, sorry, Cornell 7th, Columbia 6th. So here you see them push it through again. A little bit tough to tell. We're at 250 mark. We've got 300 to go.
It'll be real important for these women to stay together in their boat as they bring the rate up in sprint and not kind of go individually. It'll really help their boat speed. They can't just kind of go off on their own. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be, gosh, 3 too close to call here. Looks like they may have UCLA maybe in 4th now, but really Indiana may have a seat or 2 on Virginia. That just from the eyes here.
It's a terrible angle.
But Washington State also coming back on Virginia here. This is going to be bang bang 1, 2, 3. Let's give Indiana the edge there by a couple seats as we kind of move to the last 100 meters. Actually, maybe the last little bit, but looks like Indiana first, and then Virginia, Washington State. Can Virginia hold? Looks like Washington State's probably in 2nd now. Virginia in 3rd as we come to the last few strokes of the race here. So Indiana came through to win this. So Indiana, well, as the finish line comes here, yeah, Indiana, Washington State, Virginia 3rd, and there's Oklahoma in 4th. UCLA looks like they'll be in 5th here.